Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for my custom LEGO Marvel Thunderbolts video. It's showtime. Alright, first off, I do want to say the Red Hulk figure is just the one from the Brave New World set, so moving on. Yelena Belova, the White Widow, is a very simple figure. I just put some traditional panel lining with some light gray straps, and I decided a ponytail to make her a little more different than Natasha Romanoff. I had also painted her eyebrows blonde and reworked her mouth. I had also painted her angry facial expression to match, and here is a look at her back. Unfortunately, there's just not much to say about Yelena because she's a very simple figure to make. The Red Guardian. This figure is completely based off the MCU suit and the official figure. I am so happy with how it turned out. This figure is 100% painted, hand-painted by me. The helmet is from a knockoff Captain America figure, just painted red. I do want to say, though, that the new Red Guardian suit in the Thunderbolts movie, I'm not a fan. It just looks a little too cheap, I guess. I'm just not a fan. That is why I based this off of the Black Widow movie suit, which I just find a lot more appealing. As you can see, I almost copied the official torso design beat for beat, except for the belt. As you recall, I do not like painting belts, so I just painted the hip piece to make his belt. The head is just a General Zod head from the DC CMF, just with a painted beard. I tried to capture David Harbour's likeness or copy the official head. However, I just couldn't nail it down. And I don't know, there was just something about this that I kind of liked. On to the Winter Soldier. This figure completely hand-painted by me except for the legs. That is a carryover from my previous Winter Soldier figure. However, the rest is fully hand-painted. This is my own design, however, I took massive inspiration from the Infinity War outfit, along with some fan art I saw online, some different comic book designs, to make this figure. The face is just a generic face we've been getting for the last few years. However, I did paint on some stubble and painted the eyebrows brown. But overall, that is my custom Winter Soldier. Ghost is just the official minifigure. I didn't feel like making a new figure for them. I know in the movie she has a new suit. In the comics, it's a bit different. However, I'm pretty content with this. Songbird is also a pretty simple figure. She was part of the original Thunderbolts when it was led by Baron Zemo, where she eventually became a good guy. However, with current rumors and speculations, apparently Val's assistant is speculated to be Songbird, which I find pretty interesting. Now, Thunderbolts hasn't been released at the time of me recording this video, but I do find it interesting because the whole speculation is based off that the assistant's name is Mel, and Songbird's real name is Melissa, so if she ends up becoming Songbird, great. Songbird is a great character, but until the film comes out, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now for the actual figure, the suit is based off the Ultimate Alliance 2 video game. The hair I just took from Albus Dumbledore. The back is not finished just because the hair is so long. I gave her gold hands to match her gauntlets. Overall, just a real simple figure. John Walker, U.S.Agent. This fig I had to redo a few times, just because of the striping. Now, the whole thing is fully hand-painted by me. The gun, however, is a knockoff piece I got with a Deadpool figure, and I think it just matches U.S.Agent perfectly. The shield is also fully painted by me, along with all of the scratch marks. The face is painted by me, however the base was a CMF Ron Weasley head. All I did was paint on a new mouth, some stubble, and the chin strap. With that being said, the suit is based off the MCU suit, including the strap, and the striping. The striping really was so tedious. I even put some sealant on it, which kind of made it reflective and dirty at the same time. However, I think that kind of fits U.S. Agent. The back, admittedly, I took my own way with it. The belt is the Lego Batman movie belt, painted in brown, with a silver belt buckle, and red in between the pouches and buckle. I did put some red on the legs just to sort of break it up, and I'm pretty proud of this. The Punisher. The Punisher was a part of the Thunderbolts roster when Red Hulk had formed his team, and I fully admit this design is based off the Netflix Disney Plus design with the spray-painted skull. The back doesn't look the best, but no one's going to be looking at that side. They're going to be looking at the skull. The face is the 2012 Bruce Wayne Loki head. As the base, I painted on some stubble, some muscle marks, and a mark to represent a broken nose. Hey everyone, quick note here. I just got back from Calgary Expo and I got this knockoff Punisher figure, and I want to see how he looks with the knockoff hairpiece. I mean, it actually looks pretty good on the figure. I might keep it like this, I'm not too sure. Also, here's how he looks with the knockoff head. I'd also given him the white boots to make him look a little bit more like his comic book counterpart. Now, I think that's about it for Punisher. Agent Venom. Now, I know I had shown off a previous Agent Venom figure, however, this is completely overhauled. The only thing I kept from the previous figure is the head. I did go with a more simplified look. The shoulder pads are the same, however, I spray painted them and covered them with a sealant, so hopefully the paint will stick. However, the Lego Batman movie belt piece would not keep any paint on it. I don't know what it is about that piece. It just hates to be painted, so I had to paint the hit piece once again. I did go ahead and paint some strap pieces on the legs and give the boots a little more details just to make it look a little more interesting. I'm very happy with how the white spider turned out on the front and the back, along with the tiny buckles I did on the side of the legs. Overall, I'm very happy to redo this figure and to have him in my collection. Electra is a figure I didn't think I would make until I got some inspiration from Daredevil Born Again. This has major influence from the Netflix suit and the comic books as well, especially with the loincloth and the side strap. She does have her signature size, however, until I get better pieces, it's just the regular Lego size. For the suit itself, I used different paints, different shades of red, just to make it a little more visually appealing. The face does have the face mask covering, just because I wanted it a bit different. She is an assassin, so it would make sense she would cover her face. I did use a curved torso, so I was able to continue the paint onto the sides and onto the back. I usually skip the back when it's covered by long hair or a back attachment. However, in this case, I felt like it was needed. But that is it for my custom Electra. And now on to the figure I'm probably most proud of, Taskmaster. Again, this is fully hand painted by me. None of this is official printing. The only printing on this figure is the shield, and it is from a knockoff figure. Even then, I added some scuff marks and silver trim to it just to make it my own. I also added some orange to the sword just to differentiate it. Taking off the hood, this is based off a very specific design from the comics. I apologize, I do not remember the artist or the storyline that it is from. However, this to me is Taskmaster. The rest of the suit is based off the Black Widow movie, and I love this design. I don't know why, even though it looks a lot similar to Bloodsport from the Suicide Squad. But for some reason, this suit just speaks to me. I think I captured the design pretty accurately, especially to the official minifigure. Again, this is fully hand painted by me. I added silver shoulder pads and gauntlets, even side straps to the side of the legs and boots. I also added a knife holster onto the other leg to make it a little more diverse, and I took a lot of inspiration from a cosplayer that I follow on Instagram. Now, regarding the head, shoulder pieces, and the thighs, I caked them in sealant just to make sure they would not chip. This thing is fully posable, and I wanted to make sure the silver would not come off. Now, I know a lot of people were not happy with the portrayal of Taskmaster in the movies. Me along with it. The only thing I do enjoy is the suit, except for the mask. However, they did upgrade it in the new Thunderbolts movie, and I think we can all assume that they're done for. And Deadpool. I have already shown off my custom Deadpool. This is a knockoff. To me, he is a willing participant of the Thunderbolts. He's best friends with Taskmaster. No one invited him. They all just sort of have to deal with him. He just shows up when he wants and helps the team. But with that being said, guys, let's wrap up this showcase. Alright everyone, that'll do it for this showcase video of the Thunderbolts. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this is not my normal setup. I am in the process of packing and moving. It is a long story. However, I just want to thank you all so very much for your continuous support. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. No pressure. However, until next time, have a good day.